Hi guys. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Everybody. Hi. Everybody hopping on, send out your reminders. If you have any group chats, your team pages. I am nasty and sweaty. Hey, Alicia. Give everybody just a minute to hop on. What's everybody doing in quarantine?
Oh, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You're all, Schoolwork.
Yeah, I quit.
You know, I had to be on like a school conference early this morning. I'm like, what the heck? And I think I was up until like almost 3. Terrible.
Yeah, that's not
fun.
All right. Well, thank you all for hopping on Power Hour today. The three of us decided we would just do one together because we haven't done one in a little while. So we had, Allie, do you have that list in front of you by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay. So we asked for some feedback, like on some topics that you all wanted some help with maybe. So we figured we would start with that. And then the chat option is open. If anybody has a specific question or you want to hear or know more about anything else, you have all three of us. So drop it in the chat if you have a specific question. And then I'm going to let Allie take over because she has some questions of some feedback that we got some people from a group too. So we'll start with that.
Okay, so I asked, what is your biggest struggle? And for sure, overall, the most common answer and the most common answer I always get from this is time management. So I guess let's just talk about it a little bit. Number one, I know, I hear you. What I want you guys to know is that there aren't very many people on the planet that are good at this. You are not the only one. You are not the only associate, the only person in this company on this call that is struggling with that. In some way, shape, or form, we all struggle with the balance of it, where to put our time and attention and energy. And so just know that that is a struggle for most people. There are people out there that do have it together and do live by a super strict schedule, and their schedule dictates their entire life. But for most of us, especially if you have a job or children or literally anything else, that doesn't always work or just doesn't work for you. So that's the number one thing. Number two, when it comes to time management, is here's the nitty-gritty, down to the bones fact of it, is that this isn't a time for money exchange type of a job. You don't just show up, check a time card and get paid. So just the facts of it is that you have to make it work somehow. What? If you want a paycheck, and we get paid by putting in work and getting a result from that work. So at the end of the day, you have to make the time for it. And I know that it's hard. What? And I know that it's not always pretty. And I know that it doesn't sound exciting to get up an hour earlier for work or stay up an hour later than you normally would. But if it checks off 10 things that you needed to get done, yes, dear. If it checks off 10 things that you needed to get done for your business, then it was worth the time spent. I'm going to turn it over to one of you girls because this one thinks it's necessary to scream my name right now. So
I guess what I want to add to that too is, you guys, like, there's going to be different times in your business where things change and mix it up. And what you have been doing as far as like your time management and planning things out is going to change. What I did in the very beginning when I first joined and I was a brand new associate looked completely different than what I'm doing now. And actually what I'm doing now needs to kind of change, and I have to pivot a little bit on some stuff. So it's like I just sat here and was telling, like, well, my girl Rachel's on this call, and I was just telling her, I think it was, that I need to sit down and really redo my DMO. And I mean, I've just literally said this all week because things change, things in your business change, you add things, you subtract things. And to me, if I don't, like most of you guys that know me know, like I like live by like this thing. If you looked at my calendar, you might never understand what all this means, because it's actually looks kind of like a disaster, but it's my disaster, and I write on it every single day. And I keep track of all my stuff on here. I write myself notes. So it's not just like a calendar with dates and things like that. I mean, it's like notes and ideas, and it's a big old hot mess, but it's my hot mess. And this to me is what keeps me on track. So a daily DMO, a calendar. So I basically have a daily DMO on my notes, on my computer, on my phone. And then I kind of take that and transfer like all my crap. So I look at it, and then I get my dates and I write stuff down on my calendar, how it's supposed to go. And then I write myself notes here. But I guess my point is you have to keep up with changes in your day, in your time, in your business. Right now, so many of us went from having our kids to school, all day. And so if you're like me, all my kids were gone during the day. I'm like, I had all this free time. And now guess what? It's like school, daycare, work, like all of it's right here. So like what my, work day looked like with Truvision 3 weeks ago does not look the same anymore, you guys, because now there's like teacher time and all that. So, I mean, we work from home, we make our own hours, we make our own schedule. You have to fit things in where it actually is going to make sense for you, where you're going to be able to do it and you're going to be able to stick to it. So, I mean, if you have some crazy, ridiculous thing that you're never going to follow and never going to stick to, it's not going to work. So to me, like, I just tried to be honest with myself from the beginning. I wrote down what I knew I was going to do. And in the beginning, you should be working your freaking face off. If you want a big business and a big check, you have to put in big work. Do you know what I mean? And if you want to keep a big business, a big organization, and a big check, you still have to put in big work. It just changes a little bit, and you have to keep track of stuff. So I guess the time management for me, because I suck at it. Like, I actually suck at it. I'm not good. I'm not organized. My girl right here, Rachel, will tell you I'm a hot ass mess. There's no organization going on. So I have to have a DMO. I have to have it in here or it doesn't exist. If you look at my alarm on my phone, it show up for the conference for school. And then we have booty boot camp and we have power hour. Like, I have to write. Do you know what I mean? So to me, time management is tough. And like Allie said, like, most people kind of suck at it. And even if you're good at it, if you're in a place where you have kids at home and you didn't expect it, you might be great at time management, but you probably didn't expect to be a teacher either, like all of a sudden. And so, you have to switch stuff up and you have to be flexible. But honestly, that's the beauty of what we do. You can work your business around your family, around all the changes that happen around your life. And if you work your face off, if you show up, if you just kind of try to plan your day to where it actually makes sense and make sure that you have income producing activities within your DMO, within your day, you're Gucci, you're golden,
Yeah, and I think what's important right now, Alicia, that I want to reiterate to everyone is you have to keep working right now. Okay, now is not the time to just throw in your hand, throw in the towel, and not work your business. Okay, that's the absolute worst thing you can do right now. So let's talk about how you can make that happen. So my kids are older than Allie and Alicia's. My kids are in 8th and 12th grade. I'm like, homeboys, go do your homework. on the computer. My day hasn't changed a whole lot. And honestly, both of my boys work. So when they're not homeschooling, they're working, and they homeschool themselves, quite frankly. So for us, my day-to-day life really hasn't changed a lot. Matt's still working. I'm just stuck at home. But I will tell you, because my kids are older, I have had younger kids. So I think the important thing to stress to your family right now is to carve out a specific time of your day and say from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. or whatever time works best for you. Whatever that set period is, explain to them and have a real conversation as, this is my work time and this is why I'm working right now, because they see you at home, so they don't understand that it's work, right? So being real and transparent with them and setting some realistic goals in your life. Also, things like this, you all could have in your headphones and be working around this, right? So I see some of you are doing some chores. I can see you doing that. So it's a great opportunity to listen. We have so much availability at our fingertips. All of the power hours are on a YouTube channel, you guys. You could just listen to so much content. If you hear something good, write a note. But I think the most important thing going on right now, and to communicate with your family, is here is the time I have to work. Whatever that looks like to you, dedicating a solid hour, at least an hour every day for your follow-ups. Who are you talking to? You know, getting involved in some training, getting involved in some things, and setting realistic goals with your family. Like, I'll never forget this. When I hit the top rank in my previous company, my kids were little. I was working all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like Alicia mentioned, what my day-to-day now is not what it used to be. So I used to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without a lot of pay until my business was grown. I've been there. Alicia's been there. Allie's been there. We've all put in the time, right? That you all may be doing right now. I promise you it's going to be worth it. But I set the goal. I said, when I make this rank, in our world, it would be the equivalent of 5-star. So when I hit 5-star, I'm going to take you on a trip to Atlantis. That was our goal. So they had something, they learned about it. We had pictures. You know, we had a kind of like this vision board as a family. And I highly recommend that. If you have smaller kids, get us to go on a cruise, whatever it looks like. Maybe it's something smaller. Maybe it's a playground in your backyard or new bikes, whatever it looks like to you, have it on a vision board so your younger kids understand. And I think that's super important right now, communicating with your spouse, if you have one, and saying, hey, I need this hour. Can you take the kids and go do something? So right now, I think you all need to focus on what is your hour that you can dedicate to your business every single day. And in that hour, not scrolling Facebook, really dedicate and have some steps in place for that hour that you do have at your fingertips.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. And I think that there is super important, the not scrolling. Because I catch myself doing it where I'm like, okay, I got to do this, this, and this. And then I get like one of those things done, and I try to like reward myself with like just a little. I'm just going to scroll like a little, you know, I'm just going to TikTok. I'm just going to do one TikTok and then I'm done.
You may do this one.
And so, but you guys get my point, is it's like, I'm going to reward myself with just a little bit. And then it's like, boom, off the deep end. And I'm like, what? It's been an entire, like I did it just now. Literally, I sat down here. I'm like 20 minutes till power hour. I'm going to get this and this done. And then I got the first thing done. And I looked, I'm like, damn, I'm so good. 15 minutes till power hour. I'm going to reward myself with the TikTok. And then I'm like, and then I look and it's 1 minute till power hour. And I'm like, okay, I did it. It happened again. It happens to all of us. Something that really helps me is timers. Something about watching the clock tick down, like actually seeing the number, or not seeing it, and then that timer going off and we go, holy crap, I did nothing, is something that helps me and kicks me in the butt. I want to circle back around super quickly before we change the topic to some things that were mentioned about kids and communicating with them, I think that is so huge. I have 4 kids, and basically I've been doing this for so long that I seriously doubt there's any way that any of the 4 of them remember a time before I was home, because they were very little. So I've been doing this almost 5 years. My oldest is only 7. So essentially they were 2 and 6 months old. And then I have the 2 girls that literally will never know anything different. So for me, because I have raised my children in this world, it is super important to me, even at the smaller ages, to talk to them about what it is that I'm doing. Because like with Sissy, you know, she's only 3 years old, but I need her to understand that this is not normal, that mommy and daddy both being able to be here 100% of the time is not the normal thing. And if she loves that and she wants us here, listen, there's some days she doesn't want us here, but if she wants the things that we have, she needs to start understanding right now that it's important. And don't get it twisted. That kid sometimes sits and on the floor and kicks and screams and throws a princess fit when I'm doing something and she needs my attention, but she can kick and scream for 5 minutes. I have something I have to do. It is okay. She will not die down there. And then just continuing that conversation with all of them. You know, my oldest is 7. He's about to turn 8. He's a super mature and smart 7. And so he gets it. You know, I hear him saying to his younger siblings, Mom already told us she has things she has to do, and then we can go ride bikes. And so the more communication you have, the better they understand that these are privileges. If you want this, or we're working towards something as a family, the more that you can include them, I think the better with that. But having a dedicated, listen, I need you guys, even if it's putting on a movie, even if it's handing them a tablet, I need 1 hour of focus. And if you know going into it that you have an hour, you can get a lot of stuff done.
I loved Andy's comment. She said, I was on TikTok for 2 hours this morning. My husband said, just think of all you could have gotten done. And I'm going to be honest.
Exactly.
That's why I have not done the TikTok thing. I know it's like all the rage, and I'm not saying it's not good for you or your business, but I don't need another distraction in my life. I don't do Snapchat because I don't need any more distractions in my life. So I haven't made that yet because I know I'm not balancing the time that I have very well, to be honest. So I'm telling you all, you know, yes, there are pros to it for sure. I'm not telling you not to have TikTok by no means, but to me, I know in my mind, it's just another distraction. So I have to work on some other things before I can put that into play for me personally, because I'm like,
that's how I was with Pinterest for the longest time. I would go on Pinterest, next thing you know, like shoes, clothes, hair, nails, house stuff, like, I don't know, tattoos. Next thing you know, it's like 3 a.m. and I've been on Pinterest for 3 hours. I'm like, oh my God. And I would justify it like, well, I saved some really cool quotes. And I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we all have a rabbit hole that we fall down. And I think I do the same technique that Allie does. I kind of reward myself. Like if I have some stuff I need to get done, I'll say, okay, you do this. And then I'm literally like a child. I'm like, and then you get to play on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Because, and here's my biggest issue, guys, from a leadership point of view, we hear people say all the time, I work my business, 17 hours and I'm not making enough money and da, da, da. Now I get that we work our business on social media, but how much are you actually working and doing an income producing activity versus scrolling? I mean, we're all guilty of it. And I think that's something we all need to be so cautious about when we claim that we work all of this time. How much are you actually working and how much are you actually just scrolling?
Right. And working, I mean, like, it's not just making a post on your wall and like throwing it out there and hoping to God that somebody on Facebook land sees it. And, like, are you getting into Messenger? Are you messaging people? Are you reaching out to prior contacts? Are you going through all those friends that you're adding and trying to attract? And are you conversating with them? I mean, we're in a very relational business. If you don't build relationships, you don't have a business. That's just the way it is. So, you know, sometimes I have to look at stuff and I'm like, okay, so I made posts on my wall and I did this and this, but what exactly did I do? I'm serious. If I don't actually follow a daily DMO and I get off track where I'm like, what daily DMO? You know, like I'll be all over the place and I won't do the stuff that I need to do, you know, but if you have like a set thing that you know you need to do every day, there are non-negotiable things for your business. Because you know what, if you had to clock in somewhere, if you had to go into work and you had a boss telling you what to do and you were getting paid some hourly thing by doing your work, you would show up and you would get that stuff done because you wouldn't want to get fired. The thing is you don't have anybody standing above you telling you what you need to do. You have to take responsibility for your business. You have to get off your own ass. You have to show up. You have to do your work, your part. And so, you know, you need to make sure that there's things that you're doing, you know, there's slow simmering things, you know, like relationship building. They don't happen over time, you know, always, or it happens, you know, over time. It doesn't happen overnight. So you have to work on those things, and those are slow simmering, you know, and then you have some things that are probably quicker sales. You know, if you're cold marketing and you're getting them into your marketing group, some people are, you know, quick buyers. And so, you know, like there's all these different things that you're doing, and you just need to be mindful that you're doing them all, that you're taking care of the slow simmering things, that you're doing the things that are getting you, you know, sales hopefully that day. And, you know, like I said, have a set thing, you know, I'm not going to bed until I've done this. Because ultimately at the end of the day, if your business is sucking and you're not growing and you're not doing the things that you know you should be doing, you're the only one to blame for where your business is at. You know, I think it was Todd Falcone when we were just doing like a training or a Zoom, or I don't even know, you guys. He was saying, you know, like if you only make $100 in your business, it's your fault. If you make $500 a month in your business, it's your fault. If you make $5,000 in your business, it's your fault. If you make $10,000 in your business, it's your fault. If you make no money in your business, it's your fault. And the reason why is it's your fault because it's your responsibility. You have to put in the time. You have to put in what it takes to build your business. And if something's not working, you need to figure out what does work. You need to, you know what I mean? Just kind of keep up, keep trying, keep going. And you have to show up. You have to show up every single day. What is your always on your DMO? You want to see my DMO? I'll send it to you. It's getting ready to change, but mine is kind of juicy.
So I want to add to that as well. I love having a DMO. But something that helps me a lot is I have things I want to get done every day. And there's some days that those things don't need to get done. You know, for me, I create like story slides and things like that. I don't do that every single day. Sometimes I'll sit down and I'll dedicate an hour and do 2 or 3 days in a row or something along those lines. So I batch as much as I possibly can in order to save time in the future when I do have the extra time. So that is one big tip I want to give you, is that if you do find yourself with some extra time, don't sit and do Netflix or TikTok like I do. Utilize it to be productive in some way, shape, or form, but then take your daily DMO. And if you know I have an hour, like, you know, Power Hour is coming up, I'll listen to Power Hour and do their assignments. But then if I get done early, I have an hour, I'm going to try and check off these 5 things and kind of take the DMO, the big list that looks like, holy crap, I have to do all of this today, and break it down into like 3 to 5 things that you can accomplish in an hour, or 2 things you can accomplish in 15 minutes. Break it down into these little chunks. And I think that you'll find that instead of looking at this big picture that looks like, oh my goodness, I got to friend request 10 people and I have 13 people I got to follow up with that I enrolled last month, and holy crap, I got to do this, and I got to make content, and I got to create and it just looks like so much. Cut it down into these little chunks that you can spend time on. Tina, I love your hair. It's really pretty. Sorry.
Oh, how adorable is she? Dang, girl, dang.
So cut it down into these little chunks.
It
Does
was
that make
supposed to be shadow roots. My daughter just did it.
It's
Like,
really
it's been done
pretty.
for maybe an hour.
I like
Hopefully
it.
I can embrace it and leave it.
Love
It's the
it.
rebelish
So
thing
cute.
I've ever done. Thank
It's
you.
what?
I said it's probably the most rebelish thing I've done.
Oh, little rebel.
Since having kids, I should say.
I love it.
Okay,
Thanks.
so we covered a lot on that. People are asking for a DMO. So if you guys have DMOs and you're watching this and you're willing to share what your DMO is, I'd love for you guys to do that. Even if you just type up something like an example really quick. Girls, do you mind sharing some examples? Because let me explain what a DMO is. So a DMO stands for Daily Method of Operation, and every single business on the planet has one. I don't care whether you're a McDonald's, a hair salon, a network marketer, you're a business, you have a DMO, which is a basic level of operation. So when I say basic level, I mean, what is it that you need done every day for like the cleanliness of something, the sort of whatever behind the scenes things, what do you need to do to make money, how do you want to present things, all of that stuff. That's what DMO means. And so in our businesses, you know, you want to break that down into what are the behind the scenes thing that I need to do in order to make sales, in order to make money. So do you girls like have more to add to that?
I'm sitting here trying to like it. I hate this. Like I can't copy paste anything into the chat ever. There's not a way to copy paste like into the how did do you know how to paste something onto here, Allie? Like can you paste into the chat?
You should be able to.
No, it just keeps making that like that boink noise, like it's not doing it.
That's weird. I wonder if it's too big. I wonder if you need to like cut it in half and try to send half and send the other half.
Okay, I'll try.
This isn't like my regular phone. This is my Android that I don't know how to operate, but I'm trying to log into my Google Docs and pull up the one
yeah, there goes some of it.
from my 90-day challenge.
That was my morning. And this is going to change, and this doesn't, so this is mine that I just pulled up on one of my notes. This is definitely changing, and plus, like, obviously it's not going to apply to some of you guys because some of it are my own team groups and things like that, but it's kind of an idea of one of the DMOs that I have.
Okay, so you guys can like screenshot these or copy and paste them somewhere, but all of these are good. So taking your products, drinking your water, posting in your customer page, commenting on 5 posts in the customer page, following up with anyone that you've chatted with in the last week that hasn't ordered, following up with existing customers. And guys, what I want you to know is this what I was saying about piecing this out looks like a lot of stuff to do, but things like following up with people from the last week that haven't ordered, that doesn't have to be done every single day. So why are you doing this to me? She said, my shoe. This is what I got. But things like that don't need to be done every single day, right? So I know your shoe here. Pick a day, dedicate that day to people from the last week. You know, maybe Sunday is a good day to do that particular item on. And then, you know, set up your calendar so that the existing customers that you're talking to on a schedule. So, you know, maybe if it's they're an existing customer, but you need to do like a 1-week check-in on them, use a calendar to do that. So some of these things are things that, you know, when broken down, don't need to be done every single day. And then there's things that do need to be done every single day. Talking to people, somebody, even if it's not follow up with the existing customers or people that haven't ordered, talking to somebody, exposing somebody to the products has to be done every day. Sending out birthday messages, highly encouraged to do every day in order to stay connected. Posting in pages, talking in your customer group, being present and engaging and showing up in those places does need to be done every single day. But do those things honestly take that much time? No, they're not a time-consuming task.
Oh, and I like how Alicia has hers broken up like in time slots. So that's an idea for you all too, to make it a little less like overwhelming. So there's a grace period, because I see from 8 to 11, she has 3 things to do, right? Well, that's what I can see on the screen. I know it's broken up. But the point being, you can give yourself some time slots too. And especially if you are trying to work around having your kids at home right now. Everyone's worlds have been affected in some way, shape, or form with this and turned upside down. My biggest encouragement is we had a corporate call today with Derek, and we do it about once a week. And his biggest encouragement was, you know, what we're doing this month is going to affect what's happening on our teams and our organizations next month. So I think that's super important, is what we're doing this month is going to be the retention for next month, right? So you're not just impacting getting these new enrollments in, it has to do with keeping them around for your business next month. And I think that's super important to show up every single day. So whatever that looks like, you know, pick the bare minimum things. Maybe you only have 30 minutes to work your business every day. Maybe it's absolutely chaos. Maybe you're doing this all by yourself. Maybe you're a nurse. Maybe, you know, whatever it is. But having like the bare, and I would prioritize it in importance. That's what I try to do, is like, what is the absolute most important thing that I have to do in my day? Whether it be with customers, my business, at home, like, oh my gosh, today I have to do laundry. Like, we're out of clean clothes. So that's number 1 on my list for today. Tomorrow, that might change. Tomorrow, I might have 5 customers I need to follow up with because they've gotten their products. So tomorrow, it may look a little bit different. So to me, I have some things that I do every day, but mine changes due day to day. And I also have like a whiteboard in my office. I'm in my kitchen now because that's where I have Wi-Fi. But in my office, that says like what I need to get done for the week. Like, here's what needs to be done at some point this week, and then daily. So I prioritize that too, and kind of fill those in. So I think that's super important. I have to take this call really quick. Sorry, it's my son's dad.
You're up, Allie. So what else do we have, like, besides
The other one was a follow-up. That's always, hang on just one second. I'm going to send my DMO example into the chat, but I have to do it from my phone.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to just make sure everything was okay with my son.
Allie's posting her DMO. I was asking her what the next thing was on the list.
I had something I wanted to add to that really quick. Sorry. So I was talking to Alicia and Allie as far as following up goes. And if you all are utilizing Facebook stories right now, which I hope you are, we can go into a little bit of that. But if you're not using them, start. But number 2, if you are using Facebook stories, you can see who viewed your stories, right? So if you go back, you can see who has viewed your stories. I'm using that as a follow-up tool right now. And I'm going through, I can see who's seen my story, and I can click on their name, and then I see if we've had some message interaction before, because a lot of them are strangers, right? These are people I've never talked to before, but we're Facebook friends, of course. I mean, most of them are True Vision people, but even with True Vision people, it's still a time to follow up with them. So I've been using my Facebook story views as a follow-up tool to get in Messenger. Okay. So I've been going through and seeing like, oh, here's so-and-so, people that I've never had a conversation with before. For whatever reason, they've slid in my friend request and I've never had a conversation with them. It's opening up the opportunity. So something simple that I've just been sending, and this doesn't matter if they're True Vision people. It doesn't matter if whatever they are. I've just been sending a little message. If I see that they viewed my story, I say, hey, Tina, I was just thinking about you. Hope you're doing well in this crazy time. Stay safe. smiley face. Like, I'm not trying to pitch them something. I'm not trying to sell them something. I'm using that as a tool to kind of get in their mind, if you will. And y'all might like I can't say that I've gone off and sold, like, you know, things are flying off the shelf, by no means, but I'm opening up that line of communication with people that I've maybe never had a conversation with before. So I would highly recommend getting in your inbox, because money's made in Messenger, right? So this is a great way to get in Messenger, and a great way to see who's seeing your stuff and who's paying attention and who's maybe somewhat interested in either your life or your products or whatever you have to offer. So that's a tool I've been using a lot. So I highly recommend using that, getting in that Messenger, seeing who's viewing your stories and communicating with them in some way, shape, or form. Or maybe like I saw where it was like a message where I talked to someone in like 2016 or 17 about products, and we've never talked again. So I opened up that message and was like, hey, just checking in. You know what I mean? Again, not trying to sell them anything, but just opening that line of communication back up. So I highly recommend that.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that too, stories as well with this one, because we got questions on follow-up, which we can talk about in generalities, but that was what I was going to say with follow-up, because the question was, I don't know how to follow up with people without seeming pushy or who to follow up with or any of that stuff. And if that's what I was going to say, is if you guys are posting stories every single day, you have an entire list of people to follow up with. And that doesn't necessarily mean you even have to be in their inbox. Like, if you've not been doing this, or you started doing it and you got away from it and you need to get back into it, then absolutely send some messages. Hey, you know, just your name popped up in my story or on my page in my feed, and I just wanted to make sure you're doing okay right now. Just having starting a conversation with them, getting them talking to you, getting them responding to you is a win right now. And then you can move the conversation forward, because they're going to continue to keep seeing your stories. And then if you have been doing this, but you're not getting a lot of responses, you don't have to be in their inbox every day. You can use that as a list of people that are obviously interested in some way, shape, or form. So go interact on their pages. Take a chance to go get to know them a little bit better. You know, I tell my girls to do like, comment at a minimum. So go over to their page, try to find a couple of things to like, and then find at least one thing to comment on. And the reason is algorithms. It's, you know, we hear people talk about it all the time, but it is a real thing. And if you want somebody to continue to be interested in you, they may be interested in you, but if the algorithm, the interaction isn't there, then I will tell you right now, Facebook will stop showing them your story in that little top portion of it. It happens on Instagram and on Facebook. And it's interesting, I tested this whole thing out on Instagram a few months ago, and I have a couple of girls that I really, really like to follow. Their energy is just really attractive to me, and the positivity, and I really enjoy it. And I was watching their stories every single day on Instagram. And then I wanted to test this theory with stories so that I could better teach stories to people. So I stopped watching. It's like about 3 girls that I watch every single day. I stopped watching their stories, even though it showed it to me right there at the top of my page several days in a row. It kept showing their pictures to me to push their little story, to see what was going on in their lives. I just stopped completely. I didn't interact on anything. And then boom, just like that, within a week or so, their little picture was no longer up there as one of the first options for me to look at. And that's an algorithm thing. If the interaction isn't there, if the interest isn't there, if the viewing stops being there, they won't get to see you anymore, even if they were interested in what you had to offer. So when we say interact with the people from a story, it doesn't have to be a message. It doesn't have to be a buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. It could just be you taking some time to go onto their page, see what they're about, and then maybe there'll be something on there that'll give you a genuine reason to strike up a conversation. You know, congratulations. I see that you just got engaged. You just had a grandbaby. You just did this. You just did that. I saw your painting that you did. It was incredible, you know, whatever. It gives you an opportunity to get to know them better so that the next time you do pop into their inbox, you have something personal to say to them.
I think that's super important. Yeah, I think that's super important, Allie, and I want to reiterate it so much so. It is fine to post your products, but you don't want to be spammy pammy. Like, people are viewing stories to see your real life and to view you as a human being, okay? Like, why do I want to buy from Allie instead of buying from Joe Blow when they both sell the same product? You know what I mean? So there needs to be, we're all on an even playing field. We all offer the same business and the same opportunity. So why is your customer going to buy from you and not Allie, for example? You know, like, maybe they connect better with you because y'all both love gardening. Well, guess what? If you're not planning and showing and sharing that part of your life, then they're missing that connection. Maybe they want to buy, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, that's my jam. I'm into that. Maybe I want to buy from Alicia because she shares recipes. I share a lot of food on my Instagram, like personal things that I eat.
That
you know
girl
what I mean?
loves food. Let's just talk about that. She loves her snacks, you guys.
Maybe that's something that's attractive to people. Like, I don't know what to eat. Thank you for the food tips. You know what I mean? Because I know that's something that people struggle with in general. Like, it's always like, what to eat. I want to eat healthier. What do I eat? So to me, that's important. It may not matter to some people. But I think, you know, using those stories in even TikTok to make it, that's personal, and that's making you who you are, and it shows your personality and things like that. So I think it's super important. Yes, you can post your products and business opportunity, but make sure they're getting to see a little bit of your real life, because that's what people want to see. They don't want to see just a commercial.
You know, and something else like that I want to add is that, you know, like a lot of times, like, I think we're afraid to get out there and continually share. But what you do have to remember, just talking about algorithm and everything else, is there's so many things people miss, you guys. I have people that I'm friends with, and I'll talk to, you know, either some of my associates, some of my friends or whatever, and they'll be like, did you see when I posted this or I said this? I'm like, no, I didn't see that at all. And I clearly talk to them and I'm on their walls. We miss so much. People miss so much. So don't be afraid to, like, I mean, yes, don't spam your stuff, but, you know, I can't remember the exact number, Allie, Lisa, I don't know if any of you guys remember, but they basically say that it usually takes the average person a certain number of times of seeing something before they're likely to buy it anyways. So, you know, like, you need to have your, you know, opportunity or your product, whatever it is that you're doing, that needs to get in front of most people's eyes several times before they're actually going to buy it anyways. So yes, we don't spam. 10 times thank you. Yes, you don't need to spam. You can do it with tact. You can do it with class. You can do it where people are interested, you know, so kind of dripping things on people and kind of enticing them, like teasing them a little bit with stuff, getting people to ask. But you need to constantly get what you have in front of people. The problem is, I think a lot of times that, I don't know, like, in our head, we think people are psychic, or customers are going to start falling from the clouds and they're just going to, like, land on top of you and buy all your stuff. But, like, that's actually not how it works. You have to actually get what you're doing in front of people. And, you know, and I repeat this quote all the time, but it's because it's something that's always in my head. And my mentor said a long time ago, he said, the person with the most eyes in front of their product wins. And it's something that I think about all the time. Like, it doesn't matter how good of a product you have. And let's be honest, our products are kick ass. We have top of the line products that are safe, effective, affordable. They work. But if you don't get people's eyes in front of what you have, you lose. Do you know what I mean? Like, your business don't grow. You have to get eyes in front of what you have, or it does no good. It doesn't matter how good your products are if nobody's seeing what you have. So your responsibility as a distributor is to get people's eyes in front of your opportunity, in front of your product. And so, like, to me, that's just something I try to be mindful about and think about. Use every tool you have. So for starters, I'm just going to throw this out here because I had this conversation not that long ago with somebody. Like, they thought Facebook and posting in groups was network marketing. So I'm just going to tell you guys something. This might be a shock to somebody, but posting in groups and Facebook, that's not network marketing. Those are tools. We are network marketers. Your job as a network marketer is to get your opportunity, your products in front of people. And there are many tools. Posting in groups is a tool. Calling people is a tool. Talking to people face to face is a tool. Let's be honest, you can still act like the old Avon lady and you can go to people's doors if your heart's desires. You can go hang door. I mean, you can go to put stuff on cars. You might get arrested. I don't really know, but not right now. You got to keep your distance. But what I mean is we have so many tools and there's so many different things you can do to get your products in front of people that if one of the things are just not working for you, do something else. Because, you know, one of the things I always also try to remind myself, because sometimes Facebook is slow, sometimes the algorithm and things change and we have to figure it out. We have to figure out like, what happened? What does this change? How can we get it back? But that doesn't mean that your business can't grow while you're doing, there's so many things. You guys, 20, 30 years ago, did you guys know that network marketing was still a thing? Yep, it was still a thing. And do you know that people actually still made a lot of money, millions of dollars? But guess what? There's no Facebook, there's no Instagram, there was no cell phones, you had no text messaging. How in the actual heck did people build a business when they didn't have all that stuff? I mean, they had to be creative. I mean, those Avon ladies literally knock, 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 knock. They were knocking on your doors. You know, if something's not working, you need to figure out what is. You know, I mean, I'm thankful. I'm glad that I don't have to be like the Avon lady because I don't want to go knock on doors. I don't want to knock on doors. But guess what? If push came to shove and Facebook crashed and there was nothing else, I don't know, Sally next door, I'm going to see you tomorrow because I'm knocking on your door. Like I would figure it out because I'm not going back to broke. I love our products. I love our opportunity. We have this beautiful, great, amazing thing in front of us. And we just have to figure out, you know.
Yeah, and I some of the times whenever I see people talk about follow-up and they're like, I don't know how, it's not working for me. Those are the people that I just want to do like private like coaching calls with because I want to see it. I want to know what follow-up, what does that feel like to you? You know what I mean? Is follow-up to you, hey girl, what's up? And Alicia says, oh, hey.
Allie, did you get frozen?
I think it's Allie for once.
We're like, it's usually Elisa.
Not today. I mean, it did happen.
Yeah, not today.
I don't know what happened. Can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay. My computer just shut off and it's not dead. Like it's been charging all day. So
It's an epidemic.
Things are great over here. But anyway, like I was saying, what does that look like to you? Is it just being like, hey girl, what's up? Oh, hey, I'm fine. How are you? I'm good. Done. And then you're like, okay, followed up with Sally. Still didn't buy anything. Next. Like, is that, you know what I mean? Is that what your follow-up looks like? Because if that's what you're saying is follow-up, then we got to have a conversation because that's not follow-up. That's just having a quick little chat with somebody on the internet that you don't know very well. So what are you actually doing to follow up? Some of my favorite things to utilize for follow-up are to utilize resources, utilize programs, or utilize a tool, have a purpose for following up. So most of the time, there is always something that you can follow up with. So if we have a true transformation going on, then that's a perfect example of a reason to follow up with somebody. If there is a new promo, which we have been blessed with, guys, for the first time in 5 years, we have had like a kudos program that other companies do every month for the entire 2020. So that's a reason. Hey, listen, the March promo is over. I know you were super interested. Can I tell you about the April promo? Can I tell you about the May promo? Can I tell you about the whatever June promo? I'm like, whatever month comes after May. But seriously, there is currently always something right now to follow up with somebody about. another thing I really like to do is, hopefully you guys have had conversations with them, ask them what they struggle with, what they're hoping to accomplish, where they need the extra help, so that you know what to recommend for them. And if you have done that, or if they've already said to you, you know, hey, I'm diabetic, is this safe or whatever, and then you go, they're in your stories, for example, or they're on your list in some fashion, and you go to follow up with them, you scroll back up and you're like, okay, so Elisa told me that she is diabetic and she really struggles with XYZ. So I'm going to go to my customer group and I'm going to type in there diabetes or overeating or no motivation or whatever it is that Elisa's shared with me in a prior conversation that she struggles with. And I'm going to try to find a recent testimony from a real life human being. And I'm going to screenshot that testimony. And I'm going to go to Elisa's chat message and I'm going to say, hey girl, you know, I know that you were really interested in getting started. I saw this testimony. It reminded me a lot of the conversation that we had. It made me think of you. And I just wanted to share something that I thought could really help you. And here it is. And then send the thing. If you are trying hard enough, there is always a reason to follow up with somebody.
And be a collector of problems. Like Ali said, when you're talking to these people, find out what their pain points are as to how you can help them. Not like, hey, I want to buy some products and get skinny. And there's so much more to it than that. And then we're problem solvers should be our number one priority, to help people. And that's a great way to do it. So when you have your list of people, which everyone should have a list, have some notes next to them, like pre-diabetic, you know, whatever their issue is, like Ali mentioned, whenever it is, have it next to their name so you know them, you know their pain point.
Yeah, and that their pain point is how you're going to sell them, guys. That's how you're going to convince them, if that's not the right word. And I know that we're not in the business of convincing. I just mean that the pain point is what is going to take them over the edge to that being willing to try. Does that make sense? There was something else I was going to add on follow-up, and now I've totally forgotten what it was.
I interrupted.
No. I forgot it once I started rambling about things.
It'll come to you. Maybe later.
I don't know. Follow-up is one of my favorite F words. You guys that know me should know that, because it's where the money is made. And it doesn't have to be hard. I think people make it much harder than it has to be. And they look at it and they think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get a no, or this isn't the fun stuff. But not everybody is going to buy from you the first time that you talk to them. You know, Alicia talked about that.
And you know what, a lot of times, like, when I reach out to people, like you were saying, like, hey, you know, we have the special this month, or blah, 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 blah. Like, I blame stuff on myself to kind of take the pressure off of them and put it on me. Like, if I talked to Jessie 2 weeks ago, she told me she was going to order something like that, and then she didn't, I might have followed up, you know, a couple days later or whatever, and hey, you haven't got your order in, or blah, blah, or how can I help you, or blah, 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 whatever I did. You know, I might follow up again at, you know, now that we have a new promo, and be like, hey, Jessie, listen, you know, it's been an actual crazy couple of weeks. I mean, obviously everything's crazy right now, you know, with the, you know, with Rona in town, and, you know, but I wanted to make sure that I reach back out to you because we have this awesome promo. I don't want you to think I forgot about you. Sorry, it's just been absolutely crazy, but this is our promo for the month. Let me know if I can get you started. You know what I mean? Kind of like take the pressure off of like them and make it more like, I mean, it's what I do anyways. You know, I make it more like, you know.
Oh, I totally screwed up, and I wanted to make sure I didn't forget you, or I didn't leave you out, or you didn't miss your chance.
I swear, most people are like, oh, thank you, you know, like, all, you know, next, you know, might still be, you know, next Friday, or after wait till payday, or not right now, or blah, blah, or, oh yeah, send me the link again, or, you know what I mean? It re-engages the conversation, and then it brings it new again in your messenger. Because I don't know about you guys, but like, I scroll all the way back. Like when I have certain days, especially getting towards like the middle of the month, I like to go all the way back, and then getting towards the end of the month, I go all the way back again, and like to kind of make sure that I didn't because no matter how perfect you are, because come on, some of you guys think you're perfect. I'm like, no matter how perfect we think we are at follow-up, we all miss stuff. How many times have you been in the middle of like messaging somebody, your kid starts screaming, something starts happening, you leave, you go away from your phone, and you completely drop the ball. So,
and it gets buried like 20 messages deep. You know what I mean? Like wait, what? Yeah, what?
In fact, Rachel, when we get off of here, message me again. The girl that we were in the three-way with, please message me again, her name. I'm like, because one more time, I'm like, I swear. So like, to me, using my messenger and scrolling back and then reaching out to people if it's been a certain bit and it bumps them back up again, because I know I'm going to scroll back down before that month is over. You know what I mean? So like, if I just keep kind of doing it and keep them, not that that's foolproof. I'm just saying it works for me. And then taking the blame game. Sorry, I dropped the ball.
Well, we have about 5 minutes left, and I know this wasn't a traditional go do this, go do that power hour, but to me, it was more of a training power hour. I hope you all got some value out of this. It was just kind of us talking. I realized that. If you did get some value out of this, okay, good. I'm glad you loved it, Melanie. If anybody has a specific question about anything that we've talked about, type it in the chat. I do. I hope this. Oh, Allie, let's talk a little bit about, because we talked about this on the corporate call as well, for the 10 and you're in deal, because I think this is super exciting and it's something that you kind of rolled out with your team that I think everyone can easily follow suit. So do you want to talk a little bit about that really quick?
Yeah, and I remember what I was going to say about follow-up, and I can get through it super fast, but we had a call yesterday with the Meltons, and he said something that reminded me of a method we used to use for follow-up like a couple of years ago probably, and it was super effective, and it like made people uncomfortable to use it, but I promise you guys it works. So if you weren't on that call yesterday, it's the like, if you're following up and you've done everything I described, so you feel like you've actually had real conversations with them, you've made a real effort to offer them these different things several times and you're not getting the response you want, then it's time to take the option away from them by letting them know that you're done following up with them. Now, does that mean that you're going to be done following up with them forever? No, obviously not. Like, it's a buy or die program, right? Follow up till you buy or die. But you can say, hey, Tabitha, I've checked in a couple times. I haven't heard back from you, which is not a big deal, but I'm just going to go ahead and cross you off of my list. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday and stay healthy out there. And there's just something in your psychology, your psyche, whenever somebody is taking something away from you. I don't know what's wrong with us, that we're all so screwed up that if we feel like we're about to lose something, it's just that much more important to us, but it works. And I know it feels weird and I know it feels uncomfortable, but it's not rude. You don't have to be like, bitch, I'm done talking to you. Like, you don't have to be nasty about it. You can tell them to have a lovely day and actually mean it. You know what I mean? But just say, I'll check back, in a few months when it's a better time for you, but I'm going to go ahead and cross you off my list, whatever it may be. Anyway, that's what I was going to say. Take it away from them. On the 10 and you're in. So hopefully some of you guys have had a chance to hear and see the announcement of a new option in our compensation plan. And the reason that we want to cover this is it's something that is really cool.
I made beans yesterday without some frito. I just put
something that we're really excited about, but that I don't know that a lot of people kind of understand what it is. So let me start there. So when you hit the 5-star or above rank in the company, you get what they call the global bonus pool. And it's a pool of money that you get as a bonus on entire worldwide company sales. So the better the company does, the better this bonus is for you. And it's quite significant. And so corporate started looking at how they could kind of mimic that same program on a smaller scale for everybody that works their tail off. And they've come up with the shared volume pool, which is super exciting. And so what it is they're taking a percentage of worldwide entire company sales. And if you get into this pool, you get a share of all of the money dispersed in that pool. So it could be, I mean, we don't know what the amount is it's because it's going to vary on how well the company does from month to month. It may go up, it may go down. It's on new order volume. And so the way that you get into the pool is by getting new people to order with you. And so I got to thinking it with Stace, and I'm like, how can we make this very, very simple for people to understand how to get in there? Because every item purchased underneath you has a point value connected to it, or PV. And product value, point value, whatever. And so in order to get in there, you have to have 1,000 PV in sales. That doesn't mean $1,000. It does not mean one time, like one purchase is $1,000. It means over the entire month of April, you have to have 1,000 in new enrollments. And so we got to thinking, like, how can we break this down so that people understand what that looks like? And so one way of doing it, it doesn't have to be done this way, but one way of doing it is what we're calling the 10 and you're in. So if you get 10 enrollments this month with 100 PV, you're automatically in. Boom, you have made it. You have achieved a check mark next to that part of our compensation plan, which is super exciting. It is a brand new section of the compensation plan that we're just testing out. And we found out today that if this goes well, we'll keep it. If it's not a success, if people don't love it, if they don't get fired up over it, we won't keep it. Okay. So I need you guys to get fired up about it, because we're fired up about it. We're excited for this extra opportunity for you guys to learn or to earn a little bit of extra money. I don't care whether it's $20. It's an extra $20 in your freaking pocket, y'all. Go get yourself a tank of gas or 2 Starbucks coffees. I don't care what you do with it, but it's an extra $20. I'm not saying that's how much it's going to be. All I'm saying is that it's free money for doing your job. And then that's not all you get. You still get the commissions on top of all of the other sales that you did, which is, I don't know, a lot of money. Okay. So it's worth it, no matter how many pennies is in that pool. I want in it. I want all of the pennies, right? So it's super exciting. So as an example for you guys, if you do right now, the probiotic plus the combo, it's $114, and it gets you over 100 PV. I think it's 101 PV, but it's $114. Super reasonable price, guys, for what you're getting there, and it gets you over that threshold. Again, just giving you one example, one way of doing this. It doesn't have to be this way. If it's 15 orders of 75 PV, that's fine too, but we just wanted to create like a catchy 10 and you're in. So 10 new enrollments at 100 PV, and you're in the pool. No matter how many dollars it is, you're getting it next month on your check. So
super fun, because you're getting paid for everyone's work. That's what's great about unlocking these global bonus pools, or this one, for instance, is you're getting paid off of everyone that's in that pool. You're getting paid off of other people's work. You all understand that, right? So everyone's contributing, and you're getting a piece of that pie. So like Allie mentioned, whether it's $20, $100, 50 extra freaking cents, guess what? It's just a great goal to shoot for. And you've unlocked, like she said, you've unlocked another income stream at Tru Vision Health. So I think that's super fun and exciting. Super easy. I know some people have already unlocked it, the 10 and you're in. So that's awesome. Congratulations to them. And even if you don't make it, guess what? You're still increasing what you're doing. You know what I mean? There's no losing battle here at all. This isn't a losing situation. So I highly recommend it. And like I said, I just wanted it for Allie to talk about that for a little bit. So anyhow, I think we're good. Everybody good? All right, 10 and you're in. Y'all don't forget that. I hope you enjoyed today's Power Hour. Tomorrow night is 8:00 p.m. with Miss Brittany Klein. So I'm sure she'll have some good.
Who's ready to selfie up before we get off of here? everyone needs to go post Power Hour on their Facebook.
Yeah, Power Hour numbers have been low lately, you guys. So if you could really push these, I mean, we do these and people dedicate, you know, volunteer their time to kind of make this happen. So
Yes, you ready? Everybody say cheese. Be cute. We cute.
All right, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for hopping on Power Hour. We appreciate you. We love you, and y'all stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.